Alright, what up y'all boys? I'm gonna show y'all today how to get 720 waves. I got my do-rag going right now. My waves ain't really on point. It's like 4 in the morning. Doing this video for y'all right now, just to show y'all some basic tips. This is my first video. So I'm gonna unrag and then we get straight to the video, man. Alright. So yeah, I done unragged. So step number one, what you wanna do is you wanna get you a brush. When you first start out, any type of brush is preferable. It doesn't really matter what brush you use. You can use a cheap brush. But as you start advancing and you get more in depth and learning what your hair is and your own hair texture, you start learning different products and different brushes to use for your own hair texture. More or less has to do with hair texture, but it really is all about how the brush is made too. When you get more expensive brushes, the bristles and the material, and also the design of it is more formed to, you know, the pattern you want, basically. So let's get straight into it, man. So as you can see, 720 waves. Like I said, y'all, mine's not really on point. But as you can see, 720 waves is basically the swirl where it starts at the crown. You see what my crown is? Where it starts at the crown, and then it starts circulating all around like a spiral. Boom. Feel me? So it's all really about angle and technique when you brushing. It's all in the brushing too. I'm using just a basic brush just to show y'all too that it doesn't really matter. But I'm getting a new brush coming on the way tomorrow. Torino brush. I highly recommend a Torino brush, especially when you getting 720 waves, because when you getting 720 waves, Torino brush is like in a triangular. It's formed triangularly. So the tip gets the crown area more precisely. So if you searching for a new brush, I highly recommend a Torino brush. I first start out on this side. This side is more my dominant side when I'm brushing. Sometimes I like to go here because as you can see, I got a fork here. So, you know, this is really my side. So I usually sometimes now I start brushing here, but I'll go for here as my like go-to. So when you're brushing on the side, I'm glad it's like this so you can see. You want to start from back here, then brush forward. Keep brushing forward. It's all about angles. Keep brushing forward. Let me use a hard side so you can see, boom. It's all about angles. And I come in with the soft to lay it down. Difference between hard and soft, by the way, and I'm gonna also explain further in depth in another video, but it's basically how thick and how long your hair is. For the hard brush, it gets the bottom layer more precisely. It catches the bottom layer of your hair more. Soft brush is more for laying the top layer. So you can switch back and forth sometimes. Don't do it all the time, because when you're using a hard brush, especially when you're at your wolfing stage, it pulls your hair up. And when you want to lay it down, I recommend you just, when you want to use a hard brush, when you finish up, you come back on it with a soft brush to lay it down, and then put the do-rag on. I brush that side so y'all, you know, just my brushing technique. I kind of get lost in it sometimes because, you know, we all not perfect, and I be on it like that. Be trying to get it spinning in. All right, next is what you want to do is you want to hit this side. You want to come down. So you always want to start at the crown. That's why I say when you start on this side, you want to come back here and try to catch as much of the crown as possible. so you want that spin effect. But you know, it doesn't really honestly matter, because the more time you spend brushing and the more you capture, like, it's hard to explain right now, but once you start getting your waves in, then you'll start knowing, okay, what areas you need to hit, if that makes more sense. I sometimes like to come down and kind of angle my brush in this little dip area so it can connect. And keep in mind too, it all depends on where your crown is, how your crown is formulated. I don't know if you can really see, but it's all about how your crown is formulated. See, my crown, I believe it spins, what is this, clockwise? I believe my crown spins clockwise. So it goes like boom. Yeah. I believe, yeah, that makes sense. Boom. Sometimes, some people have a crown that goes counterclockwise and it goes like that. You know what I mean? And you have to start like boom, boom, boom. But it all depends on where your crown is. So you can follow the same instructions, just use the opposite side. Boom, and then come straight. And this takes time, you guys. Y'all boys, this takes time. I ain't gonna lie. Like, if you're a beginner in 2021, trust the process, bro. For real. Trust the process. That's with anything in life, honestly. That's with anything in life, Trust the process. Because it's a marathon, not a race, bro. And I don't know if you can see now, but you can see as I'm brushing this side, you can see the difference on this side. That's all about brushing. It's all about brushing, bro. Because what waves is laid down curls. And I'm gonna also get in depth to that in another video, but it's just laid down curls, bro. So now what you wanna do is, you see how mine is, it curvatures, it slants, it makes that curve. This is when I get on this side, I have to angle my brush. So it's kind of hard to do it in the camera, I ain't gonna lie. But I'm gonna have to angle my brush where the crown is down this side, so it can hit this, so it can have that curve effect. And it's gonna connect because essentially your hair is all in sections. I like to look at my hair in 4 sections. And it has different directions. And you go with the direction it's in, That's how God created you. It's beautiful. And you can see my top in a little bit. You see the waves on the top a little bit. Try to bend my head down a little. I'm trying to really see. It's hard in the camera. You gotta angle your brush too. Remember, keep your brush angled, precise as possible. And try not to go against what you just did over here. I do that a lot, I ain't gonna lie, cause you just make it look good as possible. And you tend to I tend to do this a lot, boom, and do that. But that's just to make it look good. You can do that, but when you're brushing with this hand, you're brushing differently than you do with this hand. So that's why when I brush like that, I always use this hand, because I know I have more control than this hand. So I never brush like that, never. Get that in, for real. And you can see it laying down. I love this light, bro. This light really making it so you can actually see. Cause I be watching some people's videos, and not to bash anybody. I love watching other people's videos about waves. That's how I started. But sometimes you don't really get a chance to see their waves like that, just because of lighting. And later on, YouTubers always figure that out. It just so happens this is my first time, and I got great light without really doing much. Courtesy to the bathroom, shout out. Boom. And then hit that side. Boom. And hit it at an angle. Hit it at where it's supposed to lay down at. Your hair is like a plant too, guys. Like, this is a great analogy I always like to think about. Your hair is like a plant. So as a plant, you need to water it, you need to feed it, you need to take care of it. And it grows. And in order for it to grow properly with the proper nutrition, you need to treat it. And that's where the brushing comes in. The brushing is the treating, is the care, and the daily needs. Make sure that it's maintaining, cutting all the dead, taking out the dead hairs, taking out the dead leaves, so that your hair can prosper in its lifespan. I got a little stuff in there. I can't wait till my brush come in, my new one. This brush is trash. Alright, boom. Now I'm gonna need my mirror for this one. Oh shoot, I need my glasses. Alright. See, this is also how you get the crown area. When you look in a mirror, you can actually see the crown and you can brush it. This is where I brush. Let me get in the camera so I can, alright, boom. I brush, I still at an angle. Now, where I get on this side and I get like to my ear area, I brush down my ear. And then you can see my crown. You can see the part where it splits. And I know what y'all thinking too. Don't act like y'all never dropped y'all mirror and y'all ain't waiting on a new one. Let me take my time. I'm going a little too fast. All right. Now I get to this back area here, and then do the same thing. Brush down this area, and straight down. Boom, to the back of the crown, straight down. And sometimes even like with my head shape, I know with my crown, sometimes I can get a little bit higher, and it makes a connection to the very tip. And it works very well with my Torino brush because of the triangular tip, the pointy tip. And you can see them part areas is going away because I'm brushing where it's supposed to lay down at, where it's supposed to, the direction it's supposed to be in. Just sometimes I go over this part again and I make sure my brush is at a certain angle, because you can move your hair if you brushing in a different if you over brushing, like if you brushing two directions at once, you're gonna move your hair. You gotta try to get it precise as possible to where you don't try to go in two directions at once. And that takes time and skill, and the more you do it, the more you learn your hair, where your hair goes. And get back here. As you can notice, I got some forks like back here. I got a fork in the front. I got some forks, but I always see videos about how to get rid of forks and stuff like that. And over time, honestly, you're never necessarily gonna get rid of a fork. Like, no one's perfect, remember that. But you can get it to a point to where you have the least amount of forks in your head. But don't try to overstress yourself trying to get rid of forks. Like you're gonna be freaking suavemente once you reach that goal. When you get to this, oh, where we at? When you get to this direction, see, notice I brushed when I got here in this area, this section, I brushed it down, right? Let me make sure I see in the mirror. I brush it down. Now, when you get to this area, on my left side, you want to come, take your left hand. If your crown is this way, take your left hand. If your crown is the opposite way, do the opposite way. And take your brush, come up to the back, like middle area, and brush to the side. Come brush to the side. That's going to give it that curve to boom, spiral back around your crown. And then you can like freaking go into the side brush, kind of like, that's what I do. I ain't gonna lie. I come into the side brush doing this because it's gonna curve anyway. And when you come up to the top, like where the crown area is, you wanna curve your brush in a way to where it's swirling. And then like when you start brushing your crown, you get more precise. You know, you have to brush your crown. I'm gonna get into that. But you have to brush your crown, because your crown is its own section. So your hair really has 5 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Because your crown is its own section. And then you come around. Boom. And like I said, guys, this is basic, bro. This is just basic brushing technique. This ain't nothing too special. This is getting started and learning your angles. Get up in there. When you start brushing your crown, let's start with the crown. Let's start talking about the crown, because the crown is a lot of people's hardest part. And even sometimes I struggle with my crown. But make sure you have this good old, you can use any hand mirror. Make sure you have a good hand mirror, good sized one, so you can actually see what you're doing. And use your bathroom mirror, get a good light so you can see your waves and see the direction your waves is actually going. Because your 720 is really all dependent on your crown direction of how it's going to look. So make sure you get that down packed. So my crown area, as you can see, it goes, oh, my crown area, my fault, disclosure, my crown area actually goes counterclockwise. So it starts, boom, and then it swirls around. Yeah, swirls around like that. looking at it from this angle. Anyway, my mistake. I start with the front. Yeah, I start with the front. And do a circular motion on the top, come around, and just hit it like that. You may not see very well. I don't have a good angle on this side, but you'll see what I'm talking about on the opposite side, because you're just coming around in a circle. Boom. And then sometimes that happens when it makes a little nick. That's just all because of your hand movement. And you just come over and fix that. And boom. Like I said, I'm an overachiever, so I'm gonna keep on messing with it until I like it the way I like it. But it's pretty much there. You get the point. That's why I like the Torino brush, because like I said, it has good precision. And boom, you can see it better in this lighting. Boom. And that's pretty much it for this video, you guys. That's just basic tips, basic brushing tips when you're doing 720 waves. Like and subscribe to this video, share this video. If y'all got any questions, any tips on hair, brushing, waves in general, just let me know in the comments below, man. I'll get right back to y'all. Holla, have a great day.